All right, what's up, nieces and nephews? How y'all do? How y'all doing? I'm very sorry. I've been camping for like the past I don't remember how long. There's no my TikToks that I post take like 3 hours to upload. So sorry about this. I don't really have all that time. The only times my TikToks would post up when I'm in the truck, it's because I'm out of the campfire or a campground. So. But with that being said, there are a couple of things that we do need to discuss. So, without a further ado, now I just got to remember what we were talking about. I've had a few people ask me my my thoughts on racism in America. And I'm probably going to get a whole lot of dislikes on this, and it's going to be like technically the second video to have dislikes, and I'm going to cry, but that's okay, because Uncle says how he feels anyways. Racism, as you know, is by definition, and I'm just going to come out from my ass because I'm not going to look up the definition, because I did it 50 fucking times for a TikTok. But to make it short, sweet, and simple, it's basically thinking that your race is superior to someone else. Now, there's two ways you can look at this, okay? Mostly when people are racist, it means that there's also a prejudice towards it. Now, when people say like, oh, Hawaiians are very prideful, so when they say, oh, Hawaii's the best nation, or Hawaiian is the best nationality, ethnicity, whatever. Yeah, okay, be prideful, but when it comes from a difference between pride and prejudice, that is what defines a true, real, prejudiced racist. Now, to me, I'm a mutt, okay? I'm mixed out take that back. Hawaiian, Italian, Filipino, all that stuff. 3, whatever, 4. I guess you could say that's a mutt. To me, out of all of the races that I am, or ethnicities that I am, I grew up Hawaiian. I grew up Hawaiian household, grew up Hawaiian family. So, just the Hawaiian people in general is just amazing. I mean, we have our faults, just like everybody, but to me, Hawaiian is just, I won't say it's better than everybody else, but it's the best that I'm mixed with. Just because, I have a bias towards that, which I have a right to, Now, if I say, oh, Hawaii is better than all of you guys because you guys are inferior to me or whatever, now that's different. And I'm trying to break it down before I get to the main topic for you guys, because there are differences. Now, for me, we're all equal, but I'm just, Hawaii, for me, that's my homestead. So obviously I would choose Hawaii over a lot of things, That's the family I was raised around, that was the lifestyle I was born and raised into, so I hope you guys can understand. I'm not saying, oh, Hawaii's better than Africa, Hawaii's better than anywhere else. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm just more proud to be Hawaiian. When people ask me like, hey, what are you? And they only ask for one, I just say Hawaiian, because my name, Kaleo, is Hawaiian. It's just a difference that I don't think I can really explain to the point where you guys would understand. But to the main topic, racism in America, I don't think it's ever gonna go away. And I would say, and that's okay, but it's not. It's not okay. Now, is there racism towards blacks? Yeah. Is there racism towards Hispanics? Yes. Asians? Yes. White people? Yes. Now, white people have never been oppressed because of their race. I know that, so don't comment that, because I know that. Uncle does his research. I know that. They've been oppressed because of their religion. They've been oppressed because of their status. Black people, if we're talking about slavery times, they were oppressed because at the time, I remember there was a scientist who said, oh, black people are physically meant for hard work and shit like that. Like, I remember there, you can put him in the comments because I honestly have no idea what his name was. He's not important to me anymore, other than when I had to write a book about, or a page about him. But there will always be racism in America, and to the black people, to the Hispanic people, to the some white people, to the Asians who say that you can't be racist towards white people, yeah, you're wrong. Because racism is not just for white people. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I'm sorry. It's not. And otherwise, that would be in the definition, strictly for whites towards other races. But it's not. And if you're going to say, oh, minorities can only be prejudiced, no. No. They can be racist. An individual can be a racist. Yeah. And if enough of you guys want to be prejudiced towards white people just because you think they can't be oppressed, eventually that's going to turn to widespread racism, which is then going to turn to oppression. I will tell you this right now. White people today in America have never owned a slave. Black people today have never been a slave. Now, I'm not going to talk about Hispanics because, you know, their cases are different. You know, when they come to America, they can still be treated. That would be a different topic. But minorities today, I will admit, everyone has their privilege, okay? Every race, every ethnicity has a privilege, okay? And then to say, oh, we don't have a privilege because white people, no. Yeah, I understand white people do have it easier in like law enforcement and shit. But every race has a privilege, or at least a privilege that they think that they own. Whether you disagree with me or not, you're entitled to your own opinion. It's up to you to decide. But I've made multiple videos on my TikTok about it, so go right ahead. Racism in America will not go away, and here's why. Now let's just say every single police department, because of that whole ACAB shit, let's just say they fix up their act completely. Let's say no white people are being racist or prejudiced towards any race. I will tell you right now, minorities, no matter what you are, and if you get offended for what I'm going to say, I'm talking to you. Minorities will still bring up past oppression that was like 60 years ago, 100 years ago, 400 years ago. They'll still talk about prejudice that their grandparents got. It's just like, okay, so now that we're better, now you want to bring us all down because of what? Something that happened like a while ago? No. Another thing. Racism in America is just, I will admit, America's getting much better. Trust me. Unless you want to go live in the 60s, or the 70s, or the 80s, or even farther back if you want, you can. Now, I will tell you right now, America does have its faults. America has its fucking faults. Trust me. We do have hate groups, okay? I will admit. But when it comes to things like protests and stuff, you know, when you want to protest a racist, whether that's a racist cop, a racist neighbor, yada, 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 okay, go ahead, do it. But to the people who pander to other races, you know, like the Black Panthers being fully fucking armed at the Ahmaud Arbery crime scene or whatever it was. And there was a bunch of other ones that were black and colored. I don't remember one of them getting beaten or shot because of them holding a weapon. Just like how the white people were protesting because they wanted to get out of the house, yada, 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 and they had their guns out, you know. So people can't really use that. And when that one liberal girl was trying to say, like, if that was a black person, he would be dead. And then everyone just proved her wrong by showing her hundreds of pictures of completely black people with loaded guns, big as fuck, just patrolling anywhere they wanted to. She never really had anything to say. And if she did say something, I'm not going to waste my time listening because she just got proven wrong. But that's how that is. But there's also, so racism from black to white, white to black, Hispanic to Asian, yada, yada, yada. That's not the only problem. There's also a problem when it's black on black or white on white or, you know, whoever to whoever because of their political beliefs. Like, a black Republican gets hated on from black Democrats. But you want equality, right? You want to be seen as equal. So what the fuck does their political beliefs have anything to do with the skin color? When people ask me, like, Uncle, what are you, a Republican? Are you a Democrat? I'm independent, okay? But if I had to be a political party, I'd be libertarian. Now, I took the test multiple times. The only reason I'm not putting my compass up is, one, I don't want trouble, unnecessary trouble, and two, it changes. Like, for some reason, sometimes I'm leaning left, sometimes I'm leaning right, sometimes I'm going up, sometimes I'm going down. So I'm just like, what the hell? But yeah, that's where I stand politically, if you guys were asking. But racism is just, the day it goes away, it will come back. That's just, I'm sorry, it's just gonna come back. You know, all these people, like, I'm just gonna use, my old teacher was a black Republican, and oh my God, he got so much hate from black Democrats. And it's just, what the hell? And there's other instances where, you know, they're pro-black, like a black guy is, like, pro-black, and he would say, I don't want my daughter or my son marrying a white woman or a white man. And that's seen as okay. To me, that's racist. That's racism. A black man or woman, when they use it in that sense, is being racist. Because guess what? If a white man or a white woman told their children that they can't be with a black woman, now that's a whole racism bullshit issue. And it's just like, the people who are pro-black who say no to interracial marriage for their children, one, my parents ain't telling me who to marry. They're not telling me who not to marry. Now, I'll listen to their advice, but at the end of the day, my decision, my money. But, you know, I'm not going to tell my kids who they can and can't be with. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what sexuality they are. I don't care how tall or fat, or I don't care. If they're happy, that's good. I don't want them miserable with someone I picked. I want them happy with someone they picked. And, you know, the one guy who killed his family because the story is his parents didn't like his black girlfriend. I don't know if that's it. I think there's more to it. And I would say the exact same thing if it was a black man with a white girlfriend. I don't know. I didn't really see the girl that much. But, you know, the only thing she would have been a bad influence or something, I'm not sure. But there are a bunch of, like, ignorant black creators. And it sounds like I'm picking on black people. It's just the first one that comes to my head. But, you know, there's a bunch of ignorant black creators that just use this as like a racism uplift. They're like, oh yeah, that's what they get. He killed his family. And not even the grown ones, the 6-year-old brother. And you're only saying that's what they get and bringing racism. You're only talking about that. Now, that's pretty fucked up, but whatever floats your boat. But two, let's talk about this. And I don't care if you're going to be like, oh, you're getting bold. I don't care. Because this is my page. Don't like it. click the video out. Okay. Black lives don't matter unless a white man takes it. Because guess what? If black lives really did matter, then you would talk about it when any other race takes them. Black on black, Hispanic on black, Asian on black. You would talk about that if they really mattered. And I'm talking to some people, and they're all like, oh, well, that's because it's a difference. I was like, how is a black man killing a black man and a white man killing a black man any different? The black man still died. And they're like, well, one was racially involved. I'm like, okay, then what was the other one? And in this case, it was like gang violence, I think he said. So now I'm trying to put two and two together. Did the black guy die? And you know, they're all like, well, I mean, yeah, but so then why does it only matter that the white guy killed him? What about the other black guy that killed him? Oh, well, you know, it was racial. Shut the fuck up. Because if every black life mattered, then you wouldn't be talking about just the white ones that killed them. You'd be talking about everyone who killed them. And now the 1350, okay, I see that, which is a problem. And then, you know, there are some people trying to be like, oh, well, white people have a less percentage because there's more of them. If there's more white people with a less percentage, that's a problem, don't you think? Now, unless I really give a shit about the stats, I don't care. Just give me the facts of what it is and I'll do what I can with that information. But racism goes all ways. And all these people trying to cherry pick and choose when they can use it and manipulate statistics and manipulate stories. Just stop. You're a fucking clown. That's why people like me are around, okay? To check that shit. And we will call you out whether you like it or not. Just like that, the one chick on my TikTok, it was like one of my recent ones, who was all like pissed off because someone called her a jogger on her video saying that she has nothing else to do but ruin people's lives. Excuse me, you deserved it. What do you expect? You want to be that fucking bold, okay? But you can't handle the heat. If you can't handle the fire, don't start. Just don't start it. There was a saying that I used to be like, it was like, if you can't handle the smoke, don't start the fire. Yeah, that's what it was. The thing is, I can handle the heat. I never turn off my duets, my reactions, or my comments. Because I'm ready. I started that fire, so give me some smoke. I don't care. Now, I just don't care who you are, okay? I really don't. And there are people in my comments saying, like, oh, he's not for black people. No, I just call you out on your shit. Because I don't think anyone should be privileged enough to not get called out, okay? I'll call out white creators. I'll call out black creators. Hispanic, Asian, male, female, attack helicopter. I don't give a fuck. I will call out everybody. Now, if you think I'm not for black people because I won't pander to you, kiss my ass. I don't care. You don't like it, get off my page. You're the one watching it and you're the one giving me views. So thank you. Whether you like it or not, you can just click not interested. I don't care. All right? The people who love what I have to say, the people who like what I post, I do it for them. Now, if you don't like it, I kind of do it for you too. Because I want you to see where I'm coming from and just call you out. Now, the people saying I'm not for black people, no, I'm for equality. Which means same shit, Sherlock. Which means if a black guy says this and a white guy says this, if they're both the same exact thing, then they get the same exact thing. Punishment, whatever it is. Punishment, praise, I don't care. Because if they both say the same thing that's out of pocket, I mean, to be honest, freedom of speech, but I'm tired of hearing, oh my god, no freedom of consequences. Yeah. It's kind of implemented. So that's kind of also where the Second Amendment is for, but whatever. But racism's not going to go away at all because people cherry pick and pick and choose when something's racist or when they can use it, or they're too busy being racist to themselves, or they just don't care. And when I say they, it just means anybody. So if you think I'm targeting you and you're getting offended, then I'm probably talking about you. So clean up your act. But chances are you didn't like me on my TikTok, so you're not watching me on here. And to the people that made it to 20 minutes and 40 something seconds, please comment and tell me that, because I didn't think I'd be going on this long. But that's why I don't think racism's going to go away. It's just too many factors, and it's just people really think racism's only for a certain race. It's really not. Prejudice is for every race, and racism is for every race. Now there was this one creator and there was a bunch of other people saying that you need power to be racist. No, you need power to oppress. Let that sink in. Okay, got it? Cool. You need power to oppress people. That's how slavery from all over the world for thousands of years happened. Okay? Don't think just because there were African American slaves in America for 400 years, trust me, that wasn't shit to other places. We've had people that were slaves for thousands of years. Trust me, it could be so much worse. We still have slavery going on. It's just the human sex trafficking ring. Oh my God. And that's going on in America. And that's the slavery that we should be talking about, not slavery that happened all those years ago. It's a big deal, but trust me, my people were slaves. The Filipinos were slaves. Africans were slaves. Now the Italians, I mean, they were oppressed in America because nobody liked them. The Hawaiians were slaves to people, and they owned slaves. I think it was the Haitian or Tahitian. They were slaves for 1,000 years. Hawaiians were slaves for 1,000 years, and then America came in and then made them slaves, and then for a very select few made them very poorly paid workers. So you don't see me complaining that much, do you? Now, our people still do face oppression, but you don't want to talk about that because they think that it's only for them, and it's really not. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have to say. Podcast will be coming. I've been into the stock market lately, so we'll see how that goes. And then after that, after I get everything settled, that's when my podcast and all that stuff will be coming in. It's taken a while. I am going through a lot, so, but I appreciate all the love and support and the patience, because trust me, oh my God. But tell me in the comments exactly what you guys want me to talk about in the podcast, because I will need material built in and saved up, so then I can just put it on a checklist and just be like, okay, so please tell me what you guys want me to talk about in podcast. I might be making things like, now some people ask me to make like lyrical videos. I'll do that, I guess. But other than that, you already know. Love y'all, nieces and nephews. That's what's up.